One of the simplest yet most powerful foods for protecting muscle is tofu. Many people think of it as a bland block of white, but in reality, it is a treasure chest of complete plant protein and special compounds called isoflavones. Just 3 ounces of tofu, about the size of a deck of cards, contain over 8 grams of high-quality protein. That's the very building block your muscles need every single day to stay strong. And for older adults who may not eat as much meat or who struggle with digestion, tofu offers protein that is easier on the stomach and the heart. Let me tell you about Robert, a 70-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. He loved barbecues, but often skipped protein during the week. Over time, he noticed climbing the stairs to his bedroom left him breathless, and his doctor warned him that his muscle mass was shrinking. Robert was skeptical when a dietitian suggested tofu, but his wife began adding it into stir-fries and soups just twice a week. Within 3 months, he felt lighter on his feet, and his hand grip improved so much he joked about beating his grandson at an arm wrestle again. What seemed like a foreign food became a quiet ally in his kitchen. If you're wondering how to start, here's a tip. Cut tofu into cubes, marinate it with soy sauce, garlic, and a splash of olive oil, then bake it until golden. Toss it into salads or mix it with vegetables. The flavor absorbs beautifully, and you'll hardly notice you're eating something that rivals chicken in protein. And here's something you might not expect. Tofu isn't just for vegetarians. In fact, studies show that adding plant proteins alongside small portions of fish or poultry actually enhances muscle recovery better than relying on meat alone. Surprising, isn't it? But tofu is just the beginning. Because the next food we'll talk about doesn't just feed your muscles. It can calm night cramps that wake so many older adults out of their sleep. A food you probably already know well: peanuts. They may look simple, but inside these little shells lies a combination that muscles love: protein, magnesium, and niacin. A single handful, about 1 ounce, gives you 7 grams of plant protein along with magnesium, a mineral that helps muscles relax and prevents those sudden nighttime cramps that so many older adults dread. The science is compelling. A large study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that diets rich in magnesium were linked to fewer muscle cramps and better physical performance in adults over 60. Magnesium acts like nature's muscle relaxant, helping nerve signals fire smoothly so muscles contract and release without seizing up. Pair that with protein, and peanuts become more than a snack. They're a quiet defense against weakness. Consider Linda, a 76-year-old grandmother from Florida. For years she loved gardening, but painful calf cramps often woke her at night and left her too tired to dig in the soil the next day. Her doctor suggested adding more magnesium to her meals. Instead of pills, Linda began eating a small handful of dry roasted peanuts each afternoon. Within weeks, The cramps became less frequent, and she noticed she could kneel longer in her garden without pain. The simple change gave her back one of her favorite joys. Here's a tip if you're thinking about adding peanuts. Skip the salted or candy-coated kinds. Choose plain, dry-roasted, or unsalted peanuts. You can sprinkle them on oatmeal, toss them into a salad, or mix them with yogurt. Not only do they boost muscle health, but they also add healthy fats that protect the heart. And here's something surprising. Researchers have found that older adults with higher magnesium intake have balance and strength levels similar to people several years younger. So when you grab that handful of peanuts, think of it as grabbing back a bit of youth. Tofu helps build muscle, and peanuts keep them from tightening up at night. But what if I told you the next food is mostly water? Yet it plays a quiet role in keeping muscles safe from cramps and sudden weakness. At first glance, iceberg lettuce might not seem like a muscle food. It's crisp, refreshing, and mostly water. But don't let its lightness fool you. Inside each crunchy leaf is a mix of folate, vitamin K, and a touch of potassium. Nutrients that quietly support the balance of fluids and electrolytes in your body. And balance is critical for preventing muscle cramps and keeping strength steady. You see, when muscles lose proper electrolyte balance, they misfire. That's when you get those sudden, painful cramps in the middle of the night or while walking. While iceberg lettuce won't provide as much potassium as bananas or spinach, pairing it with protein-rich foods makes it an excellent complement. Think of it as a gentle partner. It hydrates your body, supports circulation, and helps muscles recover when combined with stronger protein sources like tofu or salmon. Research published in the Journal of Gerontology highlights that diets high in leafy greens are linked to better muscle strength and mobility in older adults. Even mild sources of vitamin K, like those found in iceberg lettuce, play a role in keeping muscle fibers and bones working together. In fact, people who regularly eat leafy greens show better walking speed and stability compared to those who skip them. Here's a simple way to add iceberg lettuce. Use the leaves as a wrap instead of bread. Fill them with grilled chicken, tofu, or beans, and you'll have a light but nourishing meal. Or chop them into a salad with peanuts sprinkled on top, creating a combination of hydration, minerals, and protein in one bowl. If you've ever noticed muscle cramps at night, or felt your legs give out unexpectedly, type a 1 the comments. If not, type 0. And don't forget to subscribe to Health 365 so you won't miss the practical tips we share each week to help you stay strong and independent. Iceberg lettuce shows us that even something as light as water can protect your muscles, but the next food will surprise you even more. It's small, dark, and sweet, and it defends your muscles from the inside by fighting off invisible damage. One of the most powerful foods is also one of the smallest: wild blueberries. These little berries are packed with anthocyanins, the pigments that give them their deep blue color. More than just pretty, anthocyanins are strong antioxidants that shield muscle cells from oxidative stress, the invisible damage caused by aging and inflammation. Add in vitamin C, and wild blueberries become a natural defense system that keeps muscles recovering faster after activity and less likely to ache. Science confirms their strength. Research from the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that older adults who consumed berry-rich diets recovered muscle strength more quickly after exercise compared to those who did not. Another clinical trial showed that daily blueberry consumption reduced markers of inflammation, which directly improves muscle performance and reduces soreness. For seniors, this means less stiffness after walking, gardening, or even climbing stairs. Let me share the story of Margaret, a 76-year-old from Maine. She loved to walk with her friends every morning, but over time her legs grew sore and recovery took longer. She feared she'd have to give up her walks. Her doctor suggested adding more antioxidant-rich foods, and living in blueberry country, Margaret decided to eat a small bowl of wild blueberries every breakfast. Within a few weeks, she noticed less stiffness, and soon she was back to keeping up with her friends. She even laughed that she felt younger than her age whenever she had her blueberry fuel to start the day. The beauty of wild blueberries is how easy they are to use. You can stir them into oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or simply eat them frozen right out of the bag. And unlike some superfoods that are hard to find, wild blueberries are grown right here in the U.S., making them accessible in most grocery stores. Wild blueberries protect you from the inside, fighting inflammation that weakens muscles over time. But the next food brings a very different gift. It's rich in protein, calcium, and healthy fats, and it comes straight from the ocean in a tiny, affordable can. Few foods surprise people more than sardines. These small fish, usually found in a simple can on a grocery store shelf, are loaded with muscle-protecting power. Each serving delivers protein for building strength, omega-3 fatty acids to fight inflammation, vitamin D to support muscle function, and calcium from the tiny edible bones that keep both muscles and bones steady as we age. For older adults, this combination is remarkable. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that diets rich in omega-3 seconds improved muscle protein synthesis, the process by which muscles repair and grow. Another trial showed that seniors supplementing with vitamin D and omega-3 had significantly better grip strength and walking speed. In plain words, sardines can help you move with confidence instead of fear. The beauty of sardines lies in their simplicity and affordability. You don't need fancy preparation. Just open the can, rinse lightly if packed in oil or salt, and add them to a salad or sandwich. And because they're eaten whole, bones and all, you get an extra boost of calcium most other fish can't provide. So let me ask you, have you tried sardines before, or do you shy away from them? Type 1 if you've included them in your meals, or 0 if not yet. Sometimes, the foods that look the humblest turn out to be the strongest allies for your health. Sardines remind us that strength can come in small packages, but the next food goes even further. It's rich, flavorful, and has been proven in clinical trials to actually increase muscle volume in older adults. Salmon is often seen as a luxury food, but when it comes to muscle health, it is more of a necessity. This rich, flavorful fish is packed with protein, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, that directly protect muscles from the silent decline of aging. Omega-3 seconds don't just support the heart, they actually reduce muscle inflammation, improve protein metabolism, and slow the breakdown of muscle fibers. Vitamin D, meanwhile, strengthens both bones and muscle, lowering the risk of falls. The science behind salmon is especially compelling. In a 6-month clinical trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, older adults who consumed omega-3 seconds from salmon experienced a 3.6% increase in thigh muscle volume and significant gains in strength. That might sound small, but in everyday life, it's the difference between struggling to rise from a chair and standing up with ease. Consider Helen, a 70-year-old retired nurse from Oregon. She always enjoyed cooking but felt her energy fade in recent years. Even carrying laundry up the stairs left her breathing heavily. Her doctor mentioned sarcopenia and suggested adding salmon to her meals twice a week. Helen started with canned salmon mixed into salads and pasta. Within a few months, she noticed her legs felt sturdier, and she no longer dreaded the stairs. She even began leading her church's walking group again, proudly saying, "Salmon gave me back my steps." One of the most convenient parts of salmon is that you don't need fresh fillets to benefit. Canned salmon is affordable, widely available, and still rich in omega-3 and vitamin D. Simply mix it with olive oil and lemon, spread it on whole grain crackers, or add it to a salad. It's an easy way to turn an ordinary meal into a muscle-protecting boost. Salmon shows how delicious food can fuel stronger muscles. But the final food on our list brings another layer of support. It's creamy, comforting, and proven to help older adults maintain grip strength and balance. Ricotta cheese might seem like just another creamy topping for pasta or toast, but for aging muscles, it is a quiet powerhouse. Unlike many cheeses, ricotta is rich in whey and casein proteins, both slow-digesting and long-lasting in the body. That means your muscles receive a steady stream of amino acids for hours, helping them repair, rebuild, and stay strong even as you rest. Ricotta also contains calcium and bioactive peptides, tiny natural compounds that support muscle function and bone density together. Science gives us clear evidence. A study published in Clinical Nutrition followed older adults who ate a daily serving of ricotta. about 1 cup, for 12 weeks. By the end, they had stronger leg muscles and even maintained grip strength compared to those who didn't add ricotta. That's not just a statistic, it's proof that something as simple as a dairy product can protect independence in daily life. Let me tell you about James, a 75-year-old from Pennsylvania. He lived alone after his wife passed and often relied on quick frozen dinners. Over time, his legs weakened, and he felt nervous about climbing stairs to his bedroom. At a senior nutrition workshop, he learned about ricotta cheese and decided to try it. He began spreading it on whole grain toast in the morning and mixing it with fruit at night. Within weeks, James noticed more stability in his steps, and after 3 months, he could carry laundry upstairs without stopping. He said it felt like a small bowl of strength that restored his confidence. Ricotta is also versatile and easy to use. Stir it into oatmeal, mix it with berries, or add a spoonful to pasta. Unlike heavy cheeses, ricotta feels light but still delivers muscle-protecting protein in every bite. And because it pairs well with sweet or savory dishes, it can slip easily into your daily meals. Ricotta closes our journey through these muscle-saving foods. But before we end, let's bring everything together and talk about how these simple choices add up to lasting strength and independence.